What's up? What's up, my brothers?
We back
We back again at it. It's
with
good to
a with
be
a
here
guest.
too. It's good to be back.
Yes, sir.
So, for those of you all who may be logging on or who will log on, this is Man Me Too. Like, we all be having some of the same stuff. So, yeah, this show is for us men. So we just want to say welcome to another episode of Man Me Too. Man with three N's.
Three
Man
ends.
Me Too. And so we are definitely out here to have a platform where men can speak on issues that we don't normally talk about. Yeah, I know we don't normally talk about the real deep-rooted stuff. But we want to shatter the silence of men and start the community of laughter, healing, and love. Just want to make sure that we're putting that out there. And so, me and my brother Carl on the other end, we have been talking, having our own just conversations all the time. We were like, well, we might as well take this public so other people can getting something from the stuff that we were talking about. And so we don't proclaim to know everything or know everything about every topic that we go in on about, but we do want to open the conversation so everyone who wants to be on can give us their feedback, and hopefully we can learn some stuff as well. So I am Scooter Lamont, and we got another brother in on today. Go ahead and introduce yourself.
What's going on, man? It's Ryan.
Come on, tell the people something about you.
Man.
Tell them something about you.
This my big brother. I'm a little
Okay.
brother, 10 years apart,
10 years.
Yes, sir.
How has it been him being your older brother?
Been pretty good, man. He took care of me, just like a daddy.
That's what's up.
Like that. What if he would have said something bad?
Hey, we would have just had to go with it. That's what's up.
Hold on.
So, we do have Ron on the line tonight. He's a father. He's a great father, great husband. He's a young man that got married, young, and he's, still hanging in there. So, hey, I applaud you, my brother. You're doing great things, So we are again, Man Me Too, and we are. Guess what? This is our 17th episode. Like that's crazy to me that we've been somewhat of consistent to the point where we have 17 episodes. Like I'm gonna get to the point where I go back and listen to some of the other episodes or the older episodes to kind of, see where we come from, see where we are now. But I'm excited that I'm excited, Carl, that you still want to do this, and I'm definitely excited to do it. So, I really appreciate it. Just having the conversation, the platform to just have a conversation. And honestly, this has helped me out in so many different areas of my life. So, what were you about to say?
That's what I was going to say. I was going to say this is more than the show to me, because like a lot of times we talk about stuff that like we ain't always got under control, or like, it ain't like we speaking from a place where we are like 100% solid in all the topics. But it helps me like with the accountability aspect, because if I'm out here just answering to myself or
who has good information that they just hold to themselves?
Yeah, so it helps me do what I say I'm gonna do, or it helps me figure out, oh man, maybe I should be doing that instead of this, or just the camaraderie, being able to pass ideas from person to person. So hey, this is more than just a show to me. Y'all just get to listen.
Hey, quick shout out to my wife who is on right now. Hey, how you doing? To my high school friend Stephen Hunt Jr., who has his own show for men on Mondays. You all check him out. And also my other brother who is on here, Darnell Banks, what's up? And to everybody else, hey, how you doing, Felicia? Just how y'all doing today? Welcome to Man Me Too. I don't know if any of you all have ever listened to an episode of what we do, but of course what we do is geared towards men, but it's information that we're, kind of putting out and just having a conversation around certain things and topics that can help everybody. So quickly, if you all can help us out by sharing this live right now, that will help us out. Share it. Share it with your brother, your cousin, your uncle, anybody, because you all have to understand with me, and a lot of times we hold things in. A lot of times we kind of think about them sometimes, but we really don't voice it. And I don't, we talked about it in previous shows of why we're like that, or why majority of men are like that. And so we've talked about things around like going to counseling and learning how to become in touch with our emotions and being able to verbally say what's going on inside of us, because a lot of times we just hold it in. Can you testify to any of that, Ron? Even though you're a younger man, like, have you ever had problems like sharing what's going on in your life?
Yeah, I still do.
Okay.
I feel like that's just what men go through. We just
Mm-hmm.
we how we grow up, we don't get told to express our feelings. So
Right. And we've definitely talked
so
about that on previous shows. How we grew up is suck it up. Don't cry. Boys don't cry. Like,
yeah,
and then, of course
yeah,
emotions are more than just crying, but with that type of stuff being said to us, it kind of shuts us off from all emotions. And even though we're not tapped into them, they still come out in other ways. And so I think it definitely helps to at least know why you're doing certain things, or why you're tapped into a certain emotion, or what it is. Like sometimes people are just irritable at the moment, or they're irritated and they're frustrated, but they don't know how to pinpoint exactly. Okay, just leave me alone for a few minutes because I'm upset because I'm irritated right now, or you kind of throwing like maybe a little tantrum because you feeling vulnerable. You need somebody to talk to you, or need your wife, or some type of attention. And so just being able to communicate that verbally, and one thing I've learned about things, it helps you to get it out of your mind. When you can speak it out of your mouth, it helps to get it out of your mind, and it helps you ultimately in the end of it. And so that's what this show is geared towards. So what's up? My brother John Barrett is on the line. We're doing
What's
something
going
tonight.
on? What's going on, everybody?
What's up, Cornelius? Beverly, what's up? He's another one of my brothers. Man, everybody just on the line tonight. Glad to see you all. But we just we just kind of want to talk about what's happening in the world. Like, it's so much that's going on in the world, and we don't necessarily tonight want to go into all the negatives of everything that we got going on, because when stuff like that happens, we see it on social media, we see it on the news, you see it on CNN, you see it in all these places. Sometimes it's just overwhelming, and sometimes you just need to have a good time, or just laugh a little, or I don't know about y'all, but have y'all seen the show Them? It just came out recently. It's a little deep little dark little show, but I've been watching it. But after watching so many episodes, I was like, man, I have to watch something funny or something just to kind of take me out of that mindset. And that's how it is in the world. Like, always hearing bad news, traumatizing news, all that. Sometimes you just need to get away and just get away from that and just kind of laugh a little and just just
So
be
check this.
yourself. And
I, I was watching them like most of the weekend, right? And
okay, so
then
you have
I
seen it.
pulled up this movie. I mean, I ain't gonna say
It's
unfortunately,
good
because
though. It's good.
it's got some good deeper meanings. You just got to get past the part that feels demonic. But besides that, uh, but then I watched a movie called Two Distant Strangers. You seen that on Netflix?
Oh no, I haven't seen that one.
And then it was just then I was watching. So I had an overload. So then I watched the People versus the KKK, and I
Oh,
was
you
just
was
like,
tripping. You was tripping,
and
my
then
brother. You were watching too much
and then
heavy
along
stuff.
and then along with all the events that took place this week, it was just like overload. Like I need to listen. Get me out of this. I felt like I was in a I feel like I was in a horror movie. Like it just like it was one thing after the other. Like I chose to watch certain things, but then the other events were just like in the world that were taking over. I was like,
Mhm.
my God, like what can we do for fun around here instead of
Right.
all this?
And the
So
thing with
yeah,
that, you gotta kind of watch it because it'll take you into a dark place on its own. You know what I'm saying? Like just watching it, you'll start
yes,
to have negative thoughts or just feeling bad about yourself. Any of those types of things, just by simply just from what you're watching. So, yeah, sometimes you just need to get away.
man,
As a man, sometimes you just need to clear your mind. I know, a lot of people do it with drugs and alcohol, but there's better ways to do it to free your mind and to get your mind off of other things. Because the reality of the matter, I mean, hey, it is what it is. But the reality of the matter, when you come down from those places of doing those things, your problem's still gonna be there.
yes
And
sir,
so, it's just a temporary getaway in your mind for a minute. But we have to figure out other ways to have a positive look into something else. So so you can kind of free your mind and clear your mind and just laugh a little bit. Just enjoy life because one
right,
thing that
Mhm.
I've realized a lot of people are just existing. Like a lot of people are not living; they're existing, and it's a difference in the two. And so I just made up in my mind. I don't want to just exist in the world. I don't want to just be
Mhm.
he was here. He did some good stuff. I want to live, and I feel like the difference between those is when you're actually living, you're leaving a mark. You're leaving a legacy. You're leaving something behind, even when you're not there,
Right.
that people can look 10, 20, 30, 100 years and say this person has they lived, they did something. And so that's just my goal as a man, to just simply to live, because existing is not where it's at.
right. Listen, it. I mean, at the rate we going, you gotta do what you need to do because ain't no promise.
So
Man,
Ain't no promise.
if we haven't gathered nothing from this whole pandemic, I know they were saying it before it happened, of course, but life is not promised or nothing is promised. And so we have to capitalize on every moment that we get. And I'm talking to myself right now too, because sometimes you can get caught up on things and you focus so much on some of the smaller details of things that takes the focus, and then you realize that you're holding grudges, you holding on to stuff that you need to let go of. Um, it's not easy. But you have to be willing to do the work, and that's what the one place that I
That's
want
right.
us as men to get to the place where we're willing to do the work, whether that's in being a father, if being a husband, going to work every day. Like we have to be willing to expand our mind as far as being an entrepreneur or just being a worker, learning all that we can in whatever area that is. Like that's what I'm really learning to do. So I'm not just existing. That's why I really appreciate you, Carl, because I see you, like when you're interested in stuff, you'll dive into it. I was thinking about this the other day, and I was like, I really thank God for this guy because I see you not only have interest in stuff or just have a dream, but you chase those. You find out all the information about it. You figure out a way to become not just a consumer of it, but to be a professional at it or a teacher of it. And so I appreciate that. Like I appreciate that characteristic being in you because it's helping me. So yeah, that's what's up.
I take that. But listen,
Oh yeah, he got a multi-billion-dollar company
listen,
too.
listen. I just want to strive for excellence. That's all, man.
But that characteristic alone is like so amazing because so many people are just satisfied with just the norm or just whatever they can get. Like they become um, comfortable where they are. And one thing that I've learned about comfort and growing don't go together.
I know.
Like none of it does not go together at all. And so if you're at a place where you're just finding yourself just comfortable, you probably are not growing as much as you would like to. And but being willing to grow, you got to step out of your comfort zone. You got to stretch. You got to stretch in your thinking, the way you look into stuff. Like all that has to expand in order for you to grow. You know. So yes, sir.
Yeah.
So what's been going on? What's been going on in your world?
My world.
Yeah.
Um, man, I'm just trying to be keep my head above water, man, because life will bog you down if you let it. So that was part of the reason. Like when I was like, man, I just want to laugh. I want to do something that brings some sort of joy, encouragement, or something to people because, man, if you let it, well, you will fall in this sinkhole and just be in it. And
Yes, sir.
uh, I feel like I'm blessed enough to know that, like, hey, all this stuff is going on around me, but yet I still have someone who I can lean on, who can get me through this no matter what's going on. And I can even consume all this stuff even though I don't like to sometimes, but like I
Mm.
want to be aware, but like I can consume all this stuff and still yet know that I'm victorious at the end of the day and I can still do and be what I want to do and be whenever I want to do. And so, you know, listen, like last week I got pulled over, and I was already hot
What?
because of some other things. And I'm like, in my head, I'm sitting in the car like, bro, I wish I could just slap this hat off this dude's head. But I got a life to live. I ain't got
I'm glad you didn't
I
do
ain't
that.
trying to be out here. I ain't trying to be out here dead, So,
Exactly.
No more going to jail.
so listen, life is life, man. You take the good with the bad and keep trucking, man. So,
You know, one thing that I've learned about it is that you have, like you just said, you have to accept the good and the bad. If we only had good things to happen to us in life, we wouldn't understand how to maneuver through the bad times. And so, if you look back over your life,
okay.
most of the time is those bad situations where you learn the most. You know, Ron? Do you have a moment that was bad that now you can look back at and say, "I learned from that situation," or "It was good that I went through that"?
Well, I got plenty of moments. A lot of moments. But yeah, I feel like most of my bad moments sprung out the good, because if I didn't go out, if I didn't go through the bad, I wouldn't know what good was. You know,
Come on, this from a young man,
that's
y'all.
how I feel about it.
That's what's up. So, Carl, do you have any stories or anything that you could think of that you had to utilize the good and the bad? You don't necessarily have to tell a story, but I'm just saying.
Uh, uh, listen. Okay, so this may not be a good trait, but like I go into every situation thinking that like it's gonna be a fight, right? So I don't go into most situations thinking like, oh, everything gonna work out perfect. It's all gonna it's all gonna be, I did my part, so it's just gonna fall in
Is
line. Like I got,
expected, yeah.
yeah. So when stuff go wrong, it's almost like, okay, what we got to do to get past this? Like so, it like I feel like it. I don't unless it not saying that I never, but I feel like I don't let it affect me to the point to where it's like, oh, I'm finna just quit, or I'm finna just give up. It's
Mhm.
like, okay, okay, I can expect this to happen, but what's the next move? Like, what we got to do now to get to where we going? Because just because something bad happened don't mean I'm finna stop. We
Okay.
still have this goal. Like, so okay, that might have knocked us off a little bit, but okay, we can make it back to the road and start trucking again. So, um, I mean, I've been through a lot of things in these short 34 years.
Mm-hmm.
And I take it all as a learning experience. You get knocked down. As long as you get back up, then you still winning, man.
Man, that's great because it's like it boils down to perspective, and a lot of times it depends on which lens you're looking through. It determines how you view that thing and what you value out of that. So you can look at the glass half empty, or you can look at it half full. And so with you doing that, um, it puts you in a place of perseverance and you being able to make it through pretty much anything. And so I guess that's something that we all can learn how to, to incorporate in our life, because a lot of times when you have dreams and goals and visions, for some people, when they don't turn out the way, most of the time, they don't turn out what you dreamed about. Or, you just don't know what you're going to have to go through to get to that end result. And so for a lot of people, when they're dreamers, they dream those certain things, but if it don't come to pass that certain way, then they distraught, they ready to quit. And so I like that you have that characteristic in you, to the point where you go into a situation saying, okay, I'm gonna give this all I got, but there is a chance that it may fail. But if it does, that's not gonna break me. And so I
It's
think
not
that's
gonna,
that's something
not
all of
gonna
us, especially as men, need to really learn if we're gonna talk about being men and being strong. And don't get me wrong, there's power when we're weak too, but we have to go to the right sources to get the strength that we need.
right.
But if we're gonna talk about being strong or something, I think that's a good characteristic to have, to go into things almost like you said, like almost like in a fight, like, okay, I'm gonna fight all I can to make sure that this come to pass. And if it don't, I'm not gonna allow it to break me. I'm gonna keep going, and I'm gonna either move on to something else or revisit it. Because sometimes that's what you gotta do in life. You try something and it don't work. Sometimes you gotta go back to the drawing board and refigure some stuff out, and then try it
Reassess.
again.
Yep. Hmm.
So, but a lot of us give up at that. We tried one time and it didn't work. You know what I'm saying? So we as men, we have to get past that. Oh, I tried to deal with my baby mama, but it didn't work. Oh, I tried this marriage thing, but it didn't work. Like, we can't be so quick to give up. Man, I tried this job thing, but they don't like me at the job. Like, you gotta keep pressing. Like, you gotta keep going no matter what that is, because and because there's a blessing in endurance. The Bible talks about that. And
Yes,
so
sir.
when we endure, we not only um, endure, but we develop patience, kindness. We develop all of these things through that endurance process. And so you not only get to the end goal, but you learn something along the way. And a lot of times we forfeit all of that because we give up too fast.
Yep. That's
And
that
that's
that
what I'm
first.
just kind of seeing around the world. People are literally giving up. Like, it's crazy. And I don't want to go deep into like a lot of stuff, but it's just crazy how I see people literally giving up on themselves, on their families. Like, it's been so many situations where people are literally like, I'm done with this, and they're actually going with it. And so,
Yeah.
like, going back to what I said, I've just decided that I want to live. Like,
Right.
I want to live. I don't want to just exist in this world.
I think that's a good segue right there. I want to live. So, did you get your vaccine?
Hey,
Did you
let me
get
tell
your
y'all,
vaccine?
I am saved, sanctified, and I am vaccinated, fully vaccinated.
Vaccinated.
That's one good thing I can talk about. I do have other good things that has taken place, but I know a lot of people are, I guess, apprehensive about this vaccine and want to see things work out in people's lives first. But yeah, we're trying to get back to some type of place of normalcy, and even if it doesn't go all the way back to where it used to be, we want to get out and feel safe or be safe. So yeah, I did
Right.
get vaccinated. I was one of the ones at the very beginning, like I'm not taking that, I'm not getting that. But after hearing some different things and investing into the research of a lot of stuff on my own, and not just going off of what my mama said or somebody said, it pushed me to the place that, hey, this could be a blessing. And the thing that bothers me with the whole vaccine situation, a lot of times we're looking for God to do this supernatural healing and the supernatural thing, and sometimes He'll use other people to give into our bosom. That's what the word says.
Yeah.
And I think that we look past that part. And so this vaccine could be something that God is blessing. He probably sitting in heaven like, y'all want to be healed. Here, I didn't gave this to y'all, but y'all still like, no, I'm not getting that. Like, who passes up the healing? Like, who passes up the cure? No.
I want to say this. Me personally, I'm not a pusher of the shot, right? So I'm not like everybody go get it. If you don't want to get it, don't get it. If you want to get it. Like I'm not that person that's trying to force my opinion on you. So like I too am vaccinated, totally vaccinated.
Come on, testify.
As of last Friday.
Me too.
Bro is too.
Come on, we need to take a trip now. I'm just
and listen, I know people have their doubts and their worries about it, and as did I also did, because this thing comes out a year ago and then they got a vaccine a year later. Like that's what it looks like from the optics. Like, you don't know what they've been doing behind the scenes, but in the beginning they said vaccines take 4 to 9 years at times. So
but one thing that people don't consider is that the COVID strain was a new thing, but the coronavirus has been out. So they had something already to go on as far as research of where to start from. So it wasn't like they were just trying to develop a whole new vaccine just out of thin air for a year and say, okay, well, we got it now. They've had something to go off of. So.
Yeah, because SARS and MERS and all those other diseases were a form of COVID of coronavirus.
You're right.
So they have been developing and working on this for a while. But listen, if you don't want to get it, don't get it. If you want to get it, get it. I watched a real good interview. If you want to check it out, it was with Kev on Stage and a black doctor. He broke it down as smooth as anybody could break it down. And he himself was like, listen, I get it. Like, the black community hasn't always had a good relationship with the medical field. So yes, we've had a history and all that. So if you don't feel like it's safe, don't get it. But I just strongly felt like, listen, if there's something that can help the world, let's give it a shot. Now, if I start growing a tail in a couple months, then I might think twice about it. But the options were, hey, get coronavirus, or don't get it, or do get it and then don't die. I just went with the shot, okay? Because I don't want to die. So,
and then the thing for you,
I definitely.
No, I was gonna say, for you didn't actually get COVID. For me, I did, and so to experience what I had to experience, I never want to experience that again. So, of course, when something come out that says, this can prevent you from either ending up on a ventilator or dying or having other, especially for people who have underlying health issues, like, this thing is literally different in everybody's body. The whole COVID-19 or coronavirus it takes different in everybody's body. So it's like we're putting ourselves out there not knowing how it's going to actually affect us. And so, hey, give me the vaccine. And another thing for me is people like, we don't know what's in it, or we don't know. We put stuff in our body all the time that we don't necessarily know what's in it. Like we eat at restaurants all the time.
Your doctor will prescribe medicine. Your doctor will prescribe medicine to you all the time. You
never be like,
you don't know how long
has this been
on the market. you don't know what's in it. So I don't feel like that's a good enough excuse. But hey, whatever you need to justify yourself, go for it. But as for me, I felt like as like the leader of my family, like, okay, if something's gonna happen to somebody, okay, I'll take the risk. Okay. Mm-hmm. So I trust God though. So at the end of the day, I know He's gonna take care of me, and this shot won't take me out. So listen, do what you feel, but I got the shot. Okay. I got a vaccination card.
Hey, I got mine. My wife has hers. My parents took it as well, and that gave me so much joy because.
Hold on, Scooter. My bishop on here said he got his first shot, and he'll get the second shot on the 23rd of this month. Come on, hallelujah!
I know, right? True. My pastor and bishop has done it as well. He's vaccinated. So, man, I thank God that people are not sticking with just the conspiracies around things and actually taking a chance to trust God enough to even do it. Because, you know, we say that we trust God, but then we're fearful, you know, along with all of this stuff. So just trusting God enough to even try this, like, it's a good space to be in. So yeah, I was glad that my parents got it because y'all, I'm sure you all experienced it was hard last year this time when we couldn't see our families like that. And so I'll never forget, like, the first time that I went to see my parents, I felt nervous because I wanted to hug them, but I can't hug them. Like, it was so weird. And so to be in a space where, okay, I can feel comfortable around them, knowing even if I do have something, if it gets to them, they have something that can fight against that in their system. So
so my mama just said she got her shot. She got her shots too. So listen, we about to have a family vacation. No, I'm just playing. I ain't.
Hey, you know, I mean, but that's what's needed to actually get around and not bring stuff back to your family, or, you know, or not get sick yourself. Like, that's just what it's gonna take. I mean, you know, we've been praying for something, so I just pray that this works, and it is what it is. Because so I just got my second shot today, so I guess I have up to a couple weeks before it fully takes effect, and of course I'm still wearing my mask and stuff like that, and, you know, keep my 6 feet distance and all that, those things. But in my spirit, I feel better knowing that there's less of a chance of me getting that again, because that was absolutely no joke. So
I'm okay. So okay. Let me just say, okay, I'm just gonna speak on my experience with the shot, right? Because, you know, everybody got their feelings about it. Okay, so my first shot, I got the Pfizer. So my first shot really didn't have any effects. I had a sore arm for like a day, right? So
okay,
I didn't even know it was sore until I was at work and I tried to lift my arm up to get something off my printer, and I was like, oh, my arm's sore. But other than that, I didn't really even know it was sore. So second shot, I got it Friday. Yeah, the Friday just passed,
Mm-hmm.
and uh, went drove the family to Troy, Missouri on Friday to get some Slim Chickens. If y'all don't know what Slim Chickens is, it's a restaurant. It's like a fast food place. It's like a Chick-fil-A or a Cane's, but my kids ate it
Okay.
like it was just the greatest thing in the world. But
Really?
so it was an hour drive there, right?
Mm-hmm.
So all day I was kind of iffy about the because I knew I had to take the shot. So we took our our cousin daughter shopping for school because she started school Monday. So we in the stores, and I just felt like somebody just like drained all the energy out of me. So I think we had went to like two or three stores. By the time we made to the third store, I'm like, I'm gonna go find a chair. I need to sit down because I don't know what's happening, but I'm tired. Like, but I didn't feel sore. I didn't feel sick. I didn't feel. I was just. It's like somebody said,
Just drink.
"Go to sleep," and I was like,
Yeah.
I gotta sit down. My kids messing with me in the store, like, "Daddy, you can't go to sleep right here," and I was like, "Watch me." But so I get home, I go to sleep. I go to sleep. Wake up Saturday morning. Had an eye doctor's appointment. I'm in the eye doctor's appointment, yawning, like tired. Get back home, sit in my lazy boy chair, and just fell asleep.
He was
And
gone.
then Ebony woke me up, said we gotta go to some kid party. And I went to this kid party. It was the best party I've ever been to. It was only an hour long. Scooter know what I'm talking about. I I came back home, went to sleep, and it I wasn't sore. I didn't feel sick. I didn't feel any of that. It felt if I try to explain it to Scooter, I felt like I had worked out, which I haven't. I can tell you that I did not work out. It felt like I was like bench pressing or squatting all day, and then I was just exhausted. But then Sunday morning I woke up, I was fine. Went outside, trimmed the bushes and everything. Like I was good. So um, from my experience, like it wasn't that bad. I heard other people have worse experience, but everybody that I spoke to, even from my job who got it, they were like, I was just exhausted the weekend.
Yeah.
So
Everybody was at my job.
Say that again.
yeah,
What you say?
I said that's how everybody was at my job who got the shot before me. I was the
Oh,
last
okay.
person at my job to get my shot
Oh, okay.
because I had to make sure everybody wasn't gonna be walking around like robots.
I don't know why that was everybody's first mind to go to. Are you gonna either grow a limb or are you gonna be walking around like a zombie or like that was just everybody's first mind on
Yeah,
like what could happen.
but I got that
But most of the
dangerous
people that
though.
I've talked to, they actually feel really good, feel energized and everything. So I guess my first time taking when I took the first shot, I was fine the day that I got it. I think the next day I was fine. It was that weekend. I think I felt the chills, and that was only for like a half a day. And then the next day after that, I was absolutely fine. And so we're gonna see what this second shot has in store. But as right now, I'm excited. You know, so
I got that one hitter quitter.
we got the
Like that Johnson
hey,
Johnson,
how I look
man.
at it is I know, they've done their part to put a pause to the Johnson Johnson. Um, and I really pray that there are no long life
real,
situations
real,
with
right,
that.
Me, me
But
too.
I just think something is better than nothing. And so
right.
Yeah.
you have something, you know what I'm saying?
But I
So
was
that's
good
better than just
though
walking
when I
around here not vaccinated and then something happened, or you come across COVID-19. So
yeah
Right. Yep.
I was good though. I mean, I just had a little headache. I was tired. Like when I first got the shot, I got back to work. I was energized. Like I had all energy. But then by the time
Okay.
it was time to go, boy, I felt like he said, like it just somebody just drained all my energy. I was just tired. I had a headache. I was just ready to lay down and chill. But then like a couple days later, I was cool. Only thing that was real still bothering me, my arm was still a little sore. But other than that, I was good. Then that's
So
when they came out with
what do
that
you all
blood clot
think?
news.
What do you all think would not make people get it, but encourage more people to actually step out on that and particularly, yeah. What do you all think?
Money.
You see what he said? That's why they handing out these stimmies. They trying to get
Buddy.
nah. I think what'll make people get it is once they see that all the people that already got it is still alive.
Yeah.
I think people I think people are just
Mm.
skeptical of this, which which I get because I feel like I was in that same boat when all of this started. Because, you know, the president at the time talked about Operation Warp Speed, like he making it sound like a kid book or something. Like he making it sound like something that's not real. So it's like,
Hmm.
do I trust? Do I trust what's going on? That this man is. I'm not even saying he was controlling it, but just the way, just his narrative about it made it seem like it was not official. Like he making up just fake names for it
Yeah.
and all. It's
It was a
like
test.
yeah, it's
Hey,
just
you know,
like
I have not thought no more about that president we had since he's been gone.
not.
I have not.
You are correct. Me either. Not until the moment where I just had to talk about that. But the fact that he coming up with comic book names for the operations and it just didn't feel real with him
Hmm.
backing it. So it was like, man, I'm not taking nothing this man is endorsing. But when when someone's out there who's really like, okay, this is what it is. Like, I understand your concerns, but this is not what you think it is. Like, okay, so the doctor he dove into what every black person refers to when they start talking about like our troubles with the medical field, the Tuskegee experiment. So
Okay.
I've heard many of people talk about this, right? I've never really
Hmm.
done my research on it. So until the doctor broke it down. So what I originally thought was, okay, they were giving us something that we thought was one thing, but it ended up them giving us syphilis. And then but
Okay.
that wasn't the story. So apparently these guys had syphilis already. The doctors knew there was a penicillin that could cure the syphilis, but they
Okay.
didn't give it to them. They gave them like a fake placebo, and then they just watched to see what happened to them without giving them the real drug, and the people end up dying. So they withheld a drug that they knew could save these people's lives. They
Right.
didn't give them something that would kill them. So basically, the guy broke it down was like, you don't want to do to ourselves what they did to us back then during the
That's
Tuskegee experiment.
exactly what it is. We're withholding something that could help and ultimately ruining our lives or ending our lives because, hey, I don't want to push nobody. If you don't want, like you said, if you don't want to get it, hey, you have your reasons. But I will say, educate yourself on it so you can make a more wise decision or a sound decision on what you and your
Right.
family may need to do. Don't just go off of what you hear other people say, or don't just go off of the stuff that you've heard. Just actually do your research yourself. And I think that alone for me made me a little more secure and say, okay, I'm gonna try this. And then, like I said, we do everything else, and we don't necessarily know exactly what's in it. You know, whether it's chemicals, whatever it is, we don't necessarily know everything. and yet we still put ourselves out there, and that a lot of that stuff could be harming or killing us as well. So I'm taking the risk,
and not just medicine. And like you were saying, it's not just the medicine that we put in our bodies that hurt us. Like we do a lot of harmful things to ourselves. Like all of a sudden, like COVID came out. Now we're all scientists. Like, oh, it should take this long to create this, and
right?
no way you should have. Oh, listen, okay, scientists. If you don't want to take it, don't take it. I'm not here to force you. But listen, I feel like this was the right move. But if you don't, I feel okay. Let's talk about it. Okay, I feel like that's partly what's going on with the world, man. It's either you're black or you're white, you're red or you're blue. You're like there is no compromise in the world anymore, man. Everybody is on like one team or the other. Like there's us and them. Like, come on, y'all. Like, it don't have to be like everything does not have to be a fight every time. If you don't want to do it, don't do it. Okay. And then I saw somebody post something online that said like, they were talking about the shot. It was like, if you took the shot, you don't have to be out here like gloating about taking the shot. And then somebody responded like, well, if you didn't take the shot, you also don't have to voice that you didn't take it. Like, bro, everything doesn't have to turn into a us versus them.
I agree.
Situation, man. I don't understand this. Like, there's no middle ground in anything anymore. There's either yes or no. There's either left or right. Like, what is happening? That's all I want to know. Like, let's just love each other, okay, man. If you don't want to take it, I love you. I might dap you with my elbow, but you know, and then put some sanitizer on it. But I still love you, bro. I still love you. Like, so, man, yeah.
So I think that's a good segue into looking back over our this past year, because we're in April now, and this was the time last year where things really kind of started going crazy, and things started to get shut down. So reflecting and looking back over this past year, where are you at mentally now versus then? Like, do you still have the same hopes? Do you still have the same outlook on things? What has changed, or what has stayed the same, or what has changed? I don't know. Ron, let me know. Do you still have the same mindset you had last year around this time?
Well, me personally, I mean, I'm still, being safe, but I feel like me personally, my worry and concern has kind of went down from the time last year. Cause when it first came out, everybody was like, "Bro, I'm not going nowhere, bro. I don't want to be around nobody." But then, like now, you see people in a grocery store like this up to you.
I'd be like,
"Excuse me, bro.
Get back.
Let me get this piece
You
of
need
gum.
6 feet, please."
We still got. Yeah, you go in the store, the stickers gone off the floor. You know what I mean? People don't really.
So,
people ain't really
so do you think people are more lax now versus back then?
Very, very, very. I could be people at my job, like people just be walking around with no mask, or they have it down, but I'm be like, bro. Like,
We've become pros at the chin mask.
No more.
It's either a chin mask or a mouth mask. That's it.
Oh, just the mouth.
People don't. They not covering their nose like they supposed to. It's almost like, what is the purpose of you actually wearing it? It's we become pro. I seen a picture of a guy who had an actual mask on, but the mask was a picture of his face with the mask around his chin. So I was like, man, I want that. But that's exactly what I see.
You want people to keep telling you pull up your mask on.
Have this mask around their chin or like over their mouth.
Right.
So
Right.
check this out. Check this out. Me and the wife went to the backwoods of Arkansas about 2 weeks ago, something like that.
Okay. Yeah.
I'm talking about we was in the we when we were in the woods, we were in the woods. And listen, these folks, they it's like they don't even know what coronavirus is
They
out there,
said
You know,
bro.
in
COVID.
Jefferson
Who?
County, you don't gotta wear masks.
I know, yeah.
They tell you to take your mask off.
Oh, that's crazy. Listen.
Me and my
Hey,
coworker
you.
went to a lawnmower store, and they was like, "Oh, you don't have to wear that mask. You can take it off." I'm like,
Yes, I do,
I'm
bro.
like, bro,
I need to wear it more here than
I'm
anywhere. Okay?
like, nah,
Right.
thank you.
So in Arkansas, but listen, Arkansas. But when we were out of the backwoods of Arkansas, I can say that Arkansas probably has a more strict mask mandate or
Really?
a more willing wearers in the city area. Because when we went to the city, like we went to like a little outdoor like mall area, everybody had a mask on.
Okay.
Every store we went to, they had their mask on. Like, but in that backwoods, listen, they said we in nature, okay? What's a mask,
Right.
okay? But when we went to like establishment, like we went to an escape room, and they was like, please keep your mask on, don't take it. So they were good about their mandate, but then people in them backwoods, they like, hey, buddy, I went to a gas station. Dude in the gas station didn't have a mask on.
Right.
Lady in the line in front of me didn't have a mask on. I'm like, listen, y'all can look at me funny if you want. I got this mask on.
You so right. I'm still gonna wear my mask out in public.
St. Charles don't have to wear no mask.
Oh,
Oh yeah, I was
we were in
about to say
Troy.
out there. You said what?
We were in Troy last Friday, and my son saying, "Daddy, do you feel weird? We're the only people here with a mask on." No, I do not. Don't take that mask off, boy. Like, you better sit
Right.
your tail down, put that mask on. So
Because that's the
listen,
thing. Like, I mean, I guess it's kind of not different being around the people that you normally hang around. But to me, it is a little different when you're around people you definitely don't know where they've been. You definitely don't know what they have.
exactly.
Right.
So yeah, I'm going to wear it around people I definitely don't know. Um,
I'm gonna be
so
safe out here, man.
yeah, you still have to like. Even with having the vaccine and stuff like that, you don't want to give anybody else anything. So, hey, protect yourself and others by just simply. And don't get me wrong, I literally hate the mask. I hate it because
Hate it.
when I wear my
Hate it.
glasses, it fogs up.
Hate it.
Sometimes it's hard to breathe in it. I get it, but I rather
Very hard to breathe.
I rather have trouble breathing in the mask versus trouble breathing from
And a ventilator.
yeah. So
Right. So look at me funny. I'm gonna wear this mask.
So COVID, Carl and Ron, do you all still have the same fears as you had back in 2020?
I'm gonna
And
say
I say
no
that because for
because
me, it was like back then we didn't know a lot. So it was almost like just the fear of the unknown. We don't know how bad this thing is going to get. Remember back then, they only thought it was going to be a couple weeks. Then it turned into a month, and then it turned into, okay, when it get warm outside, it's going to kill it off. Then it turned in, okay, it's July, and people need to stay in. And then July 4th came, and people kind of got around their families. And then the numbers went back up. It was just like, oh, man. We just did not know what to really expect.
it started off as a 14-day quarantine. That's what it was supposed to be.
Sure did.
They sent us home 14. Everybody stay home 14 days. After that, we gonna be good. Everybody gonna go back up. Them 14 days turned into all now to today. Like so.
And people are still coming down with this virus. It's not like it's just absolutely gone. People are still catching coronavirus.
But what's funny about your question is when I was thinking about it earlier, I feel like this time last year I'm almost in the same boat because we still had that expectation that this just going to be a 14-day, or at the very least it's gonna be another 14 days on the 14 days, which okay, that's just a month. So we gonna be good in June. You know, like so. It was like, all right, I work from home for a month. I stay in the house for a month. You know, and
Hey, I
then we
wonder how
good.
those people that are working from home are they still enjoying it, or is it like, I need to get out of here for a minute? Because I done heard mixed reviews on the whole working from home thing. I'm actually glad I did not just have to work from home because I would get bored very quick, and then I also like having conversations with people. So just sitting at home, you're gonna sit there and eat more. You're gonna be more
I
lax.
can say this from my experience from working at home. It depends on your home dynamics, right? So let's say
Okay.
let's say I was just married. Let's say I was just married. It was just me and the wife. You know, I'm working from home. She working from home. That probably wouldn't be as like
Bad as
gruesome
if you got
as
kids running around the house too.
you got you got three kids and you trying to get them on the homeschool and you trying to
Yeah.
work and it's just I was like, listen, I will go to work. I will risk coronavirus to just go to the office because because even though I go to work every day, it's almost like I work from home because you can't go to anybody else's office. You can't like if you talk to somebody, you call them. Like
Mm-hmm.
I I my supervisor is there's a door that connects our office. We can open it. If I want to talk to her, I call her.
Mm.
She's literally like 8 feet away from me. Uh, like you. Anytime I leave my office, I mask up. I to go anywhere else outside of my office. So it's almost like I'm at home by myself in this room. So
Mm-hmm.
I just have to drive there. So it's not really like the whole like the work dynamic it used to be where
Right.
you could kind of hang in certain people's offices and no, they like
Mine is,
it,
but
but
we get tested every Tuesday though.
oh wow.
Really?
It's voluntarily like yeah. So like if we want to like ride in like the same truck as people, because like when we're
Oh.
doing like pothole patching, if you got like so many trucks out on the road, it kind of disturbs the traffic. You know, it brings on an accident risk. So us taking the test every Tuesday give us like a 5 day period to work with each other. So it kind of helps, you know. It's a rapid test, you know, within the next day whether if you got it or not.
Oh, that's what's up.
The
That's
one
what's
the
up.
one thing I do like about the one thing that I do like from all this COVID stuff is that which I really feel like I thought people were doing this already, but like I feel like the world is cleaner right now. Like people washing their hands, using hand sanitizer. Like it, if they do sneeze or cough, they making sure they covering it or tissue in it or
Yeah.
like
Oh
all
yeah,
that.
because
Like
you cough and people looking at you crazy like,
right.
Ooh-wee.
Listen, I could choke on some water in my office and start coughing. The next person next door start calling me. Call you okay? Do you need to go home? No, I just choked on some water. Okay, like I'm fine.
Right.
Like so it's like if you sick, my job you have to fill out a form every day. If you answer yes to one question, stay at home.
So
Like so, I feel like that because that was plenty of times I went to work knowing good and well I was sick. Probably had flu a couple times went to work and just
mm.
toughed it out. Like I'm cool. Like, but
Yeah, I think that was the
we,
mentality for a lot of us because I definitely was
yeah,
one that would work through my sickness. But which
honestly,
I don't typically get sick that often. But
right,
those moments that I wasn't feeling well, I still was pushing myself through it. And
right.
so
We
now things are a
probably
little different.
shouldn't. Yeah,
Yeah, it makes me think back like we were really living kind of reckless.
reckless, bro. Just think about going bowling, right? Like you go bowling, you touch this ball that who knows
who
how many
knows how
people
many
they
people?
touched it throughout the day. But not only that, right? You gonna order some food.
Exactly.
You
Don't wash your hands.
how many times
And
did you
you
go to the bathroom and wash your hands,
right.
or even pull out some hand sanitizer? I can answer for myself. Not that many times. I would bowl, lick my fingers, go eat, lick my
Chicken.
fingers again,
Yeah.
and be back out there with the same. Like, bro, that seems so disgusting right now. Like, but
You want to
hey,
go
we
both?
was out here. I do. I really do. But
Hey, just take your
you
hand
best believe I'm
sanitizer
gonna have
with
some hand sanitizer. Right, right.
Big old
You
bottle.
better believe it. Like we got hand sanitizer everywhere, Scooter. Every car, every kid backpack, like all of that. Like, listen.
Can you remember last time around this year though? It was hard to even find hand sanitizer or Lysol or
Yeah.
toilet tissue.
Or
Like,
tissue.
Everything.
That's what I didn't get. Like
yeah,
the
I never
tissue
understood
craze.
that.
Like bro, what the tissue gonna do to coronavirus? Like what? Like I was
I think it
confused.
was probably more of the fear of the unknown of how long we may be in. So it's like, let's get enough of this just in case. But it was almost
Okay,
like
worst
it
case
was
scenario.
helping the corona, helping prevent you from it if you have a whole lot of.
Worst, but Scooter, worst case scenario, you run out of tissue. Get your tail in the shower, like something. Like you ain't got to have a century worth of toilet paper.
Then had a nerve to try to sell it.
Yeah, like come on, man. Like I feel
Well,
like
you
when
speaking
people
from
start
a
panicking.
person that looks at everything as a fight, and you always gonna persevere. Some people never had nothing like this to transpire, so they wouldn't have known what to do. If they had ran out of tissue.
But toilet tissue, not the toilet. Like I could. Like if I had to make a list of things that I didn't want to run out of, toilet tissue would probably be 100th item on the list. Okay, like that's not
Okay.
top 10, top 20 even. Like I got towels and water in my house. I could wash my butt. Like
Yeah, I agree.
I was confused about the tissues. Real confused. Like y'all ain't out here trying to get milk and eggs and bread, like the normal stuff when they tell you ain't gonna be able to leave the house. Y'all just clearing the tissue aisle. And it was paper towels. It was just like, come on, y'all. Like that was months we went to the store, couldn't find just basic stuff. Like
some off-brand stuff.
it was crazy. That like so okay, so my outlook was okay, we're gonna be back outside in June. That's kind of how I feel. Not saying that I feel like we're gonna be back outside in June now, but I almost see the light at the end of the tunnel. Like
yeah, that's what it is. That's what it's like.
It feels more optimistic now. Now, if you would have talked to me in like May, going into May, almost going into June, it would have been like, bro, the world for the end. Like the world is over. Like,
and that's a good point. Things really change from month to month.
Yeah, because after that 2 weeks, because they gave you a 2 week hope. Like they was like, all right, 2 weeks, we gonna be. Then them 2 weeks went by. They like, all right, let's put another 2 weeks on it. Everything didn't go how we. Okay, I can deal with another 2 weeks. But then when they was like, hold on, and then they just kept adding time, and I'm like, and I went to Walmart one day, and it felt like I was in a scene of what's the movie where they shut the emergency down and everybody just started killing each other.
Zombie movie?
No, it's the where there's no crime for 24 hours.
Oh, the Purge.
Yeah,
the Purge. The Purge.
It felt because they was playing over the intercom at the Walmart parking lot, like make sure you wipe your basket down. Stay 6 feet apart. Like it felt.
And remember back then, you would have to stand outside in a line because they were counting it.
Yes.
Oh yeah.
I'm like, I went back home. I said, I'm not going back outside. The world is for the end. Like there is something really happening. Like I didn't
was very
believe it
scary
until I went outside that one day. So yeah, in May, June, I was a through piece. But right now, I see the light at the end of the tunnel. Now I ain't saying it's big, but I can see it. It's like, all right, we almost there, y'all.
Just
Just
do
a little bit
right.
more, yeah, like. But it's gonna be summertime too, so when it get hot outside, people
Oh
want to be
boy,
outside, So,
it's gonna be crazy for sure.
but listen, at some point we gonna have to live with this thing. Like
Mhm.
we ain't gonna be able to stay in the house forever. So, um,
It's gonna be forgotten sooner or later.
I don't think it's ever gonna be forgotten. I
Yeah,
don't
I
think
don't
it's
think it's
ever
gonna be
gonna go back
forgotten.
to the way it was. I don't think that
No,
we
I
ever
don't
gonna
think
go
it'll
back to
ever go
that,
back to
like
exactly
where
to
we
how
were.
it was, but I definitely think we can get to some place of a new normalcy. But
I I
go
feel
ahead,
like one thing with the mask is if you're sick, wear a mask.
wear a mask.
Because the one thing I can say is through all of this, I really haven't gotten sick. Like, I mean, I normally don't get sick a lot, but I I don't even feel like I got a cold this year because like anytime I left, I had a mask on. So like if you just have to leave the house and you not feeling well, put a mask on.
Mm.
Even if they remove the mask mandate. If you look in like Asian countries, they wear masks on.
All the
They
time.
feel like
They
it's
definitely
disrespect.
do.
It's a disrespectful to leave the house if you know that you are sick without a mask on. We should just all adopt that. But we live
Hmm.
in a we live in America. Everybody got their rights and their freedoms, and So listen, you can't tell nobody what to do, but just a suggestion, okay?
I agree with you, bro. Like, I don't, like I said, I don't think these will go back to all the way. It was kind of like when 9/11 happened. Like before then, in the
Yeah,
airport, you could not even have a ticket, but you can go all the way to
you
the
walk
gate.
all the way to the gate. Yep.
After 9/11, like we had a whole new normal place that we had to learn to get to. Like, oh man, I gotta get to the airport 2 hours early now to go through
Right.
security, and
Yeah,
like you
Hmm.
can't take this, can't take that, can't they throwing this away,
yeah, I see
throwing
what
like
y'all saying.
I remember one time when I was in Europe and we were traveling from place to place, I forgot I had like this big old jug of water, and I was like, I don't want to throw this away, so I literally sat there in line and drank this whole bottle of water, all because I did not want to throw it away. But like, so much has had to change within that from before to say 2011, 2001 when that situation happened. Um,
Right.
so much change, but we gathered a new normalcy. That's what I was trying to say. So,
Hmm.
I guess we're gonna have to come up with a new normal place. I mean, I'm sure the whole 6 feet thing probably will stay for a while. Um,
Yeah. Bag back, bro.
yeah, and not only because viruses and sicknesses, I think people have become conditioned to bag up, So I don't think it's just gonna go jump back to a place of, hey, it's okay, you can come in my space. It's like, hold on. And we probably should have been living like that anyway. Like, hey,
We
give
was
me
out
my
here
bubble.
reckless, bro. We was reckless out here.
On so many
But listen,
levels.
but just think about it, man. When we were younger, like I know, like I would play outside, drop candy on the ground, pick it up and eat it. Like it was nothing. Like that wasn't like. But now
Right.
everything just seems so gross. Although listen, I still am me. Okay, so don't get it twisted. But like just certain things when you think about it, it's just
Yeah, in
like,
theory, it's like
bro, we
gross.
used to
Like,
do that. We used to do that all the time with no thoughts about it. Like potlucks at work. Like
yeah.
people would make jokes like, "I ain't eating her food. She might have cats walking on her cat." But that's real. That's real. But
People got going on
we
in
don't
their
know what
house.
people got going on. Like we don't know who do what with like.
Right.
But I can say the one thing I miss is those lunches at work because we used to have lunches all the time.
Mm-hmm.
Now we had probably one, Scooter. They took them away. They don't.
Mm-hmm.
Man, we used to get we used to get donuts all the time. Now we haven't had a
My
donut
job
since the
too.
pandemic. It was
Yeah, it definitely did change a whole lot. But like you said, I believe it made us a little more aware of
definitely
germs and how close we are to people, and all those things. Because, like we said before, it was kind of reckless.
right. You be at work, somebody eat chips, they be like, "You want some?" They just let you stick your hand in their bag. You be like,
Mm.
if somebody was to do that today, I would be like, "Yuck."
You can have them. You can have them.
Right. Just have them. Here, take them. Like, oh my God.
And I've always already kind of been like a little germaphobe, I guess, in
I
some sense. So
I wasn't.
all this just heightened all that. I just be like, you good,
Oh.
you can have it.
The only time I was a germaphobe when it came to drinking after kids, okay?
Oh, I don't drink after nobody.
Top
I
notch,
can't, and I
disgusting.
definitely am not drinking after a kid. They leave all type of backwash in there. I don't know how y'all do it.
I
Oh,
don't do it.
Y'all be like, here, son, here, drink some of this. They be
I don't
spit.
do it.
I couldn't
I
do it.
don't do it.
I
if I
couldn't
gotta
do
share
it.
something with a kid, if I
They
gotta share
can
something with a
have it.
kid, I drink what I'm gonna drink. You now you have it. Like that's
That's
just
why we
my
brothers.
sharing. I do
But
not
I
run
kind of
down.
grew up like that though. I never really drank. I never drank after my mother or my father, or like my other family would get mad because they would eat and drink off of each other, and I'm like, can I have my own cup?
Right.
But I just
Oh
didn't grow up
man.
like that. I never
See,
ate off
people
of my
think
brothers or sisters. Nothing.
people people think coronavirus is all bad, man. We really implemented some good things. Like these things should have been in place, okay?
And that's
Like
why I said things are about perspective and the lens that you're looking at it. You can look at it and say, man, this whole pandemic has been a bad thing, but looking at it half full instead of half empty, I've saved more money this past year than I ever have. Like I've learned a whole lot
probably
more than
made more money
I
too.
have.
Right.
Like I've become more aware of cleanliness and washing my hands and like I still be kind of, although I'll do it, like shake somebody's hand, but I'm immediately in my mind like I gotta get some hand sanitizer.
If the few times that I had to shake somebody's hand, I went either straight to the bathroom or straight to some hand sanitizer afterwards.
That's what
Even
I'm saying. See, before then, you would go on, you would eat, you would do whatever else. I mean, we were still washing
but
our
check this
hands. Don't
out.
get me wrong, but
Even if somebody hand me something, I will take it and sanitize up afterwards. Like
mhm.
Yeah.
it's it's weird, but it's listen. You got to be safe out here, man. Like
Yeah, you definitely do.
because you before I don't think we were aware of how much germs is on whatever, and like we touch stuff and not know we touch our face and all this afterwards. So it's like you just got to be smart. Like
And you know what? I didn't realize how up until the pandemic time, I didn't realize how much we actually touch our face. Like you'll think of like I don't touch my
right,
face that much, but like if it was a camera watching, you'd be
no,
surprised how many times you actually touch your face.
you rub your eyes, your nose, and everything, bro.
Mm-hmm.
Because now every time I touch my face, I feel like there's a counter in my head, like, bro, you touching your face. Why? Like, and like in the back of my mind, like I'm keeping count. Like, so it's weird, but it's good. Like it makes us aware of stuff that we wasn't even on the radar before this. Like,
Mm-hmm.
so listen,
So
pandemic
yeah,
wasn't all
there are
bad.
definitely some good things that came from it. Um, so that goes back to the initial conversation of being able to put the good with the bad, and then you come out with something from it, whether it's something that you learn, something that you gain. If you just look at things as all bad, then you put yourself in a situation to be depressed, sad, disgusted.
Yep.
But if you say, you know what, I'm gonna put what I've learned from this bad situation with the good, then okay, now next time I know to do this, or you'll gain something in this area that you didn't have. And so I think it's important for us to look at it that way.
Right.
So, what have you learned from this, Ron, from this past year that you take with you now, besides washing your hands and stuff like that?
Patience. Learn a lot of patience.
That's good.
I feel like I matured a lot also.
That's how you know that you living and not just existing.
Yeah. It put me and my wife to the test, so and that
guess
helped.
what, bro? Man, me too.
Man, me too.
Hey, I'm sure everybody's relationship has been tested during this pandemic.
Yeah, for sure.
If you are in any type of relationship where you outside of just yourself,
yeah,
go ahead.
The pandemic was worth 5 years, bro. So listen, just add 5 years to your relationship, okay? I've been married 16 years in May, okay?
Hey, but for real though, because most people, especially when we had to be just in the house, most people hadn't been around their spouses or their children like that much. Like most of us, we work, we come home, want to chill, kind of got to do other stuff. Like you weren't like, some people were literally waking up and going to sleep with that person every day. So
you went from seeing that person a third of the day to 24 hours.
24 hours.
So, okay, maybe not 5 years, maybe 3 years, okay? If you made it through the pandemic, you add 3, okay? So,
I'll take it.
Man.
And even the thing with the pandemic, a lot of times we look at all the stuff that came just from COVID or coronavirus, but we also had other problems outside of that. You know what I'm saying? So there were so many things that we had to include with the coronavirus happening. Like, I'm just grateful for life. Like, I'm just grateful to still even just be in my right mind, because so many people have lost their minds. So many people have lost their conscience. There's so many people that used to go to church that don't go to church anymore. I'm just grateful to just kind of still have my right mind, can still think for myself, can still make a good decision, a sound decision. And so, yeah, that's just where I am with that.
I feel like COVID exposed a lot of things in people. It brought people to the real them, exposed them to the real them, and what they can handle and what they really can't handle.
Okay, that's good. That's good, because a lot of times we don't really know our own strength, or we don't know where our strength comes from, but you think in your mind, a lot of times we allow fear to overtake them and be like, oh no, I can never do that. I can never do that. But because of this pandemic, it has put us in a place where we had to actually step outside of that and take that risk and take that chance, or whatever it is, whether it was going to work, going to the grocery store, going to the doctor. Like, it's been so many things that we could have learned from all of this, and still learning today. But yeah, it definitely showed us that we're a lot stronger than what we think.
It made us sit still and deal with ourselves. Like, we never just had to sit in the house for this long. Okay, there's only so much running you can do in your house. At some point, you have to look at yourself and be like, man, I need to do something about that. Right. Or I'm gonna crash and burn. Yeah. Or you might see oh man, I've been limiting myself. I need to like push harder.
Right.
Right.
Whatever you saw it in this time because you were stuck in not stuck. You were you were there. Like
Just moving.
there was there was really nowhere else to be but with you. So yeah, it made you face the real reality. Like you couldn't just keep you know how we make ourselves busy enough to not have to deal
Yes,
with
sir.
what's going on. When the world shut down, even if you
You couldn't
didn't
do
go to
nothing.
work, yeah. So you coming back home and like, dang, I either I'm either gonna have to fix this or just be like looking crazy for who knows how long until they let me out this house. So
Right.
Right.
listen, listen. I think the pandemic kind of did us a favor too. So
Yeah.
because I felt like I grown a lot in
Hmm.
this period because like just even the relationship we built kind of keeps me accountable with like okay I need to do this. I need to step this up. I see my bro doing this for like his wife. Like, okay, maybe I am limiting myself. Maybe I need to you know celebrate or step out and do this, and so it's like yeah, like don't just downplay everything. Like some stuff is worth doing this, and
Right.
so
Right.
it helped me. It helped me see a lot of things and know. Okay, it's one thing to think something, and it's another thing to actually put it into action. So
Yeah, I agree.
um, I feel like the pandemic helped me a lot because when you surround yourself with certain people and you see like, oh, they moving like that, and it's not from a point of like competing. It's
Right.
from a
Hmm.
point of like okay, the one reason when you see me like doing like a deep dive into something trying to learn something is because like I like to learn best practices. So like even if that's how I treat my wife. So like if I see somebody doing something for their wife that I think is neat, like that I think my wife would like, okay, oh, I could try that. I could put my little tweak on it and
Right.
make it work for me. Or if I see somebody who know like finances, are they moving that like that, so they could get her? Oh, all right, I could do something like that. And it's not like I'm trying to compete or trying to get where you at or be like whatever. You know how some people have a motive of I want to be the top. I want to be the best. I want to be better than you. I want no. It's a oh I see you operating in the way that I would like to operate. Like
Right.
and uh, so I'm gonna take that and implement it in my life. I'm not gonna be like envious and just be like oh they think they this or they think they that. Well if they think they that that's fine. But I can also be that too. Like there's no one spot. Like there's multiple seats at the table. Let's all eat. That's my
Yes,
mentality.
sir. I also think during this
Everybody eat.
pandemic, it has pushed people to step outside their comfort zone as far as networking with other people because you would kind of stay in your own circle. But when everything is pretty
Hmm.
much virtual or online, or you have to do it through Zoom or something like that, like I think it has pushed people to even with I don't know if you've been on there before, Clubhouse, right? I've seen like
Clubhouse,
different
yeah.
rooms where people are straight networking, like they would have a room for videographers, and they're just in there just sharing
Yeah.
different tips, different or songwriters. Like I've seen so many different things. I'm like, okay, this is a good thing that people are actually networking more and just kind of learning from each other versus just being envious of people or jealous and like, oh, they got that and I want it, or I think it's been a good thing that, and of course you have your people that
Yeah.
are still negative, but for the most part, it's pushed a lot of us to step outside of that comfort zone. And I think that's so very important in life, no matter how young you are, no matter how old you are. Comfort will stop you from achieving greatness because you'll get complacent. You'll get stuck there. And I tell people all the time, it's just like a rubber band. A rubber band, you don't know how far it can stretch until you stretch it. Like, it can get around more when you stretch it out versus if you just leave it in the pack or leave it, unstretched. And that's how our lives are. It's not meant to break, but it's meant to bend and stretch a little bit. It's almost the same thing when a woman gets pregnant. Like, it becomes more uncomfortable the bigger she gets, right? But she has an end goal that she's trying to get to, which is the child, which is crazy. The crazy part about that is when she has that child, she almost forgets about all that pain that she went through previously. And that's how it has to be with us. That's how it has to be with us, even as men. We have to be stretched in all areas of our life. Yeah, it may feel uncomfortable. Yeah, it may hurt. It may hurt your pride to even talk about or to deal with it, but you got to look at the end goal and say, this is going to make me better. And when I get to that end goal, that end result, I'm going to be so focused on the goodness or the good things that I've obtained through it that I'm not even worried about the pain that I went through.
That's right.
So this conversation has really encouraged me. And like you said, I love the thing about this show and the thing about how things have been going is that it's causing us to really move beyond what we normally would do. And
the pandemic pushed that show out.
It definitely did. And so because honestly, I probably would have still procrastinated. I was going through some of my old notes from the episode when we were talking about the stuff that we left in 2020 and things that we were taking into 2021. And I was looking at that list and I was like, man, I feel good because I've actually done some of this stuff that I have on here. And so that's what the pandemic did. It pushed us. It's pushing us into greatness. The Bible says that God uses the foolish things to confound the wise. And so a lot of times we look at how foolish things seem or how crazy it looks. But when you look in retrospect and you actually look back on it, you realize that it wasn't designed to take you out, but it was designed to make you better. And so it may hurt. And don't get me wrong, I don't want people to think that just because you save money or you're doing better than you were last year that I'm sure you had some trials and tribulations somewhere along the line. And so it's our job to use those moments to make us better and not bitter. Mm-hmm. That's my spiel for tonight.
That's good, man. That's good. Hey, we can shut it down after that. You take up the offers. Come on, praise team. Close it up.
But for real, like, hey, whoever may be looking at this or whatever, make sure you don't allow this life to make you bitter because it's so easy for it to happen. You'll begin to develop a whole pity party for yourself because you're looking at things and things are not the way that you desire for them to be. All I can say to you is put in the work. I said it earlier in the show, like we got to be willing to work for whatever outcome that there's no way the car is going to run if you don't put the time and the effort into it to make sure that the brakes work, to make sure that the gas is filled, to make sure that you got air in your tires. Like it takes work to, I know we kind of go out and buy new cars now so we don't have to do all of those things. But like I was talking to my supervisor about it. He was talking about how he's trying to buy his son a car, but his son wants a new car. I was like, no, not when you 16. You gotta get that car that you gotta work on so you develop that appreciation for a car because you give them a brand new car, they don't even have the appreciation for it. And so I think that's what you gotta get a car has been for us.
Your first car gotta be the same year you was born, bro.
Exactly. Exactly.
Mine was.
New car. What you talking, man?
Right. But that's because they look at people now and see, oh, they got this, they got a car with this in it, they got hey, you have to work your way up. And so you may not be on that level right now. It's okay. It's okay to aspire to things and have dreams for things. Hey, I may want a Rolls Royce one day. I may want a
That's what you're
Bentley or
supposed to do.
something one day. But I'm not going to live beyond my means and go
Come
try
on
to
now.
buy it now to impress other people. Like, that's pointless. Like, I'm so far past what people think, what people have to say, because guess what? No matter what, they're going to think what they want to think anyway.
No.
And the reality of the matter is more people are willing to believe a lie over the truth any day. So you are trying to impress folks. Oh, I got this, I got that, I got that.
They still gonna talk about
They
it.
gonna talk about
They still gonna talk.
He
They
probably can't
still
even
gonna talk
afford that
about you.
Bentley.
Because then it's
They
gonna
gonna make
turn
up
in from
something.
you not having none to, oh, you being
Oh, you think
fake,
you
or
did?
you
Right.
Oh, you think you better?
right. Are you changing? Because no, I'm just trying to elevate. I'm just trying to go to the next dimension. I'm just trying to educate myself on stuff so I don't find myself in that same pattern, that same cycle. Like, it's time for us as men to come out of those cycles. Like, anything that
I
you
know
see
somebody.
that is not working, we got to figure out a way to change that.
I know a wise man who said, "Listen, you can't let these people, these things that you think people got, intimidate you to the fact that you become envious. Let them inspire you to get to where they got."
Yes, sir.
So that's the whole mindset, man. Don't feel intimidated because somebody got something that seems overwhelming and beyond what you could think. No, ask them how they did it.
Right, because you don't know what they had to go through to
Right.
get it.
Sir, you said something right there. Because people want what you got. People want, want the glory of what you have, but they don't know what you had to go to get to that.
Right.
And guess what? Even if they
Don't
do know
half
what,
of
they may travel that same path, but they may have a whole nother issue that they may have to experience. So, I mean, you just
because
can't
that
look
might
at
not be
somebody
for
else's
you.
life and say, oh, they got it good because they did. You don't know my story. You don't know what I had to get to just to get here today. You know what I'm saying? So,
Sure.
hey, don't be bitter. Be better.
That's right. That's right, man.
So,
So what? Hey,
you said what?
that's all I got, man.
Okay.
Listen, the
Hey,
cup ain't half empty; it's half full, baby.
that's what we taking from this episode, and I'm gonna try to just like really incorporate that in my life altogether. Because, like I said, it's so easy to get caught up on the negatives. It's so easy to get caught up on things not working out the way you wanted to. But when you look at it from that lens out, man, it could be worse. That's half full instead of half empty. Like, when you're looking at it as half empty, you're like, man, there could be more in there than this. But it's not. But when you're looking at it as half empty or half full, rather, you like, it's half full. At least it's full a little bit. Like, I used to
I
have
got
this, but
something to
now I'm
drink.
here.
I got something to drink.
Right, right. I
Right.
made sure I couldn't afford water bottles at one point, but at least I could buy water bottles now. So
Right.
I hope y'all got something from it. I definitely did. I really enjoyed our other co-host today, brother Ron. Ron, we appreciate you for coming on, my brother. Appreciate you just for giving your perspective, because you're a young man, and a lot of times me and Cora are the same age, so a lot of times the stuff that we say we kind of think alike on a lot of stuff. So it's good to have a younger perspective on things. So we appreciate you for coming on, and I definitely appreciate you, Carl, for everything. Like, just for the friendship alone, I value it, and so yeah.
Listen, man.
I do, man.
Listen, man. Scooter, we all know you run this, okay, man.
Not at all.
I'm just a willing vessel, okay.
I appreciate your willingness.
I surround myself with great people so that I can, be all that I can be. That's it, man.
That's what's up. So thank you all. With all of that being said, we want to thank you all so much for
Thank you.
participating for our show for today. Hopefully you got something out of it. Hey, send this to somebody. Let them know, hey, it's some guys talking about some positive stuff out here, talking about ways to overcome things out here, talking about ways to be better fathers, better husbands, better men. Like that's what we're out here trying to do. Also, we have, and we didn't get a chance to talk about it tonight, but we have a YouTube page. We want you all to go to that. Make sure that you all like and subscribe. Make sure that you hit that notification bell. So anytime we post any content, any videos, any lives, that you will get a notification that Man Me Too is on. If we talked about something tonight and you had a question about something, a comment or a concern or anything, email us at man with 3 N's, me too at gmail.com. So MANNMETOO at gmail.com. And we would do our due diligence to make sure that we get to your question, or at least screen it to see what it is, and we'll try to answer it some type of way. So we appreciate you all so very much, and we pray
Appreciate
that you
y'all.
all are blessed. Until next time, Man Me Too. You just hey, you got the victory. No matter what you face,
That's
know
right.
that you have the victory. All right, y'all have a good night.
Yes, sir. Catch y'all next time. Peace. Can always do